Ladies and gentlemen, on Friday, a very important meeting took place at Capitol Hill. Raila Odinga met with Babu Owino. That meeting is significant politically speaking, and I'd actually do you guys injustice if I failed to talk about that very important meeting. This is what Babu Owino posted after the meeting. Let me just go through it. Let me just read for you what Babu Owino posted after that meeting. Had a very elaborate meeting with my party leader today on the way forward for the party, youth inclusion in the party structure, and continuity of our opposition role to check on government excesses and be the voice of the people of Kenya. We are with the people. I love being away, but if there's one story I really wanted to talk about, is this one here. If you read what Babu Owino posted, you can clearly understand the objective of this particular meeting. Babu is saying here, let me just repeat again, had a very elaborate meeting with my party leader today on the way forward for the party. Way forward. We all know that Raila Odinga is going to AU. Ali Hassan Joho, Cabinet Secretary. Oparanya, Cabinet Secretary. Those are two key leaders in ODA party. John Mbadi, the chairman, is also leaving to serve in government. Opiyo Wandayi is also leaving to serve the government. So the question is, what is the way forward for the party? Because even before all these developments emerged, Babu Owino had strategically started his own political journey away from Raila Odinga. And that's why this meeting is significant and is continuing youth inclusion in the party structures. What Babu is talking about here is that can the young people in ODM party be included in party structures? When you talk of party structures, we are talking of the chairman, the secretary general, the deputy party leader, the party leader, all those structures. Because remember, at some point, Babu Owino stated very clearly that if he will not be on the table, then he was going to break that table. Babu Owino is a young person. So because politics is about interest, Babu Owino met with Raila Odinga about his inclusion in the party structure. Okay? Let me just proceed. And he's also talking of continuity of our opposition role to check on government excesses. So again, if you put your glasses clearly, you'll read here that Babu Owino is still going to play the opposition role. Maybe that's what Raila Odinga wants him to do, or maybe he's going to defy Raila Odinga. And interestingly, this is what he's also posting, that be the voice of the people of Kenya. We are with the people. Being with the people means that it's going to go, being with the people, in my view, simply means that Babu Owino is going to go against the party. Because the party is clearly hell-bent on joining the government, which is currently very unpopular. So in this video, I want us to do a critical analysis, the deep analysis about this particular meeting. But before you do that, for those who are watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or two, click the subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support. Because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is. Ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, allow me to dive in. But again, before I dive in, allow me to introduce you guys to Lemfi. Lemfi is a mobile money app for users in the UK, Canada, and the United States of America to send money back to Kenya. They offer the best exchange rates, and the money will be delivered instantly into M-Pesa account, Airtel Money account, and of course, if you want, directly into your bank account. You can use the link in the pinned comment to download the app. Ladies and gentlemen, let us dive in. Two facts are very clear. That number one, Raila Odinga is a very popular politician. Babu Owino is also a very popular politician. That's the first fact. The second fact is that Raila Odinga is currently getting aged. Babu Owino is still at his prime age. Those are facts which we can't deny. And the truth is, Raila Odinga is the ODM party leader. And I like giving comparison. I want to give you a story of something that happened several years ago in the Soviet Union, or Russia for that matter. There were two individuals those years. One was called Joseph Stalin, and another one was called Vladimir Lenin. Lenin was a revolutionary in Russia. Stalin Joseph was mtu wake wa mkono. So we had those two gentlemen. So they fought. Stalin doing the dirty work, just like we've seen Babu Owino during the Mandamanos. He's been arrested more than any other person within ODM party. Then, as fate would have it, Lenin succeeded and became Lenin succeeded and became the president or the leader of Russia, Soviet Russia, during those times. I think it must have been 1920s there, because I think actually Lenin died 1924 and he ruled for 2 years. So Lenin became the president. As usual, when an animal is killed or slaughtered for that matter, hunted and slaughtered, what happens? People are given positions. So Lenin, in his wisdom, gave everybody, every other person, position in government. But he forgot Stalin. In this case, Babu Owino was forgotten. He was then appointed, Stalin was then appointed as the Secretary General of the Communist Party during those times. So he was the Secretary General, Lenin was the president, every other person was appointed to key very senior government position. Hii ya Stalin ilikuwa tu ya machozi tu. And of course, Lenin was very clear that Stalin should not get anything. As fate would have it, 2 years later into leadership, Lenin passed on, naturally. And the guy who had the information was Stalin. You know, those years, we never used to have telephone, you know, it was, mode of communication was a bit complex. So Stalin saw an opportunity. And because he had the information about the date of burial, blah, blah, he started misleading these other guys on the specific date of burial. He actually told them a date which was way ahead. The burial happened. People came full. Then people were surprised that of all Lenin friends, of all the people Lenin appointed, only Stalin was present. So from there, they said, Stalin is now our leader. And that's how Stalin, Joseph, became the president of the Soviet Union from 1924 to 1953 when he passed on. I'm just giving you that story, just for the sake of it, so that you can understand the link where I'm coming from. But let us focus on the objective of Babu Owino's meeting with Raila Odinga. For me, the first objective, in my view, is Raila Odinga succession politics. And that's why I gave you the story of Lenin and Stalin. And when we talk of Raila Odinga succession, we are talking of two fronts. In ODM party, in Luo Nyanza. There's a very serious fear factor amongst ODM leaders towards Babu Owino. Let me tell you something which happened some 2 or 3 weeks ago. ODM party conducted their opinion poll to figure out who amongst these leaders can succeed Raila Odinga. The verdict shocked everybody. 37% was for Babu Owino. But Babu Owino cannot be allowed. So I'm 100% sure that Raila Odinga talked to Babu Owino. And he told him, Punguza. Because remember, Babu Owino has been holding rallies across the country. He was told, Punguza. So I'll be waiting to see whether Babu Owino will still continue with those tours. Because I've actually counted them. I think Babu Owino has held over 22 rallies across the country. And most of them were very serious. And now Babu Owino is seeing opportunity in terms of the party leadership. But Babu Owino is not going to be the Secretary General. It's not going to be the chairman to replace Badi. It's not going to be the 2 deputy party leaders. In Parliament, we've already seen it's been shortchanged. So I think Raila wanted just to discuss with him that succession politics and maybe ask him to tone down a bit or maybe give him okay to go. So that's number one. Number 2 is about the Gen Z protest. You know, Babu Owino has been the force behind ODM successful demonstrations in Nairobi, especially last year. At some point when he went slow, the impact was felt. But Raila Odinga is currently working with William Ruto and is calling for national dialogue or national conversation. In ODM party, how many leaders do you think the Gen Zs relate with? Babu Owino is one of them. And that's why I'm convinced that Raila Odinga talks with Babu Owino to maybe persuade the Gen Zs against going to the streets. Number 3 is the ODM party leadership in parliament. Of course, the positions which are available were filled. Junet Mohamed is now the minority leader. Milo Odhiambo is now the minority whip. And of course, Kaleba missed the chair of the pack. So those were the 3 positions which were occasioned by the departure of Joho, of Mbadi and Wandai. Babu Owino out of the equation because Babu Owino had previously wanted to become the chair of the pack, chair of the Parliamentary Accounts Committee, which has now been given to Caleb Amesi. So I'm sure Raila Odinga realized that Babu Owino was not very happy, and maybe that's why he invited him to go and discuss in his office. And of course, lastly, I'm also 100% convinced, and that's why the statement by Babu Owino is important, that Babu and Raila discussed the merits and the demerits of working with William Ruto. And that's why Babu Owino is saying here, continuity of our opposition role to check on government excesses and be the voice of the people of Kenya. We are with the people. So Babu Owino simply told Raila Odinga, maybe this idea of joining government is not good. I'm not boarding. So I'll be keenly following Babu Owino's movements moving forward, because that meeting, in my view, is very significant. Until that time, this is Lee Makwiny. Bye-bye.